Hello everyone and welcome to the Jacksonville Public Library's Supercharged Story Time. My name is Miss Rebekah and today we're going to be reading Charlotte is Squished, which I bet some of you guys can relate to right now. Ready to get started? Charlotte the Scientist is Squished, written by Camille Andros and illustrated by Brianne Farley. In our book, Charlotte is a serious scientist and she uses the scientific method to solve her problem. Do you know what the scientific method is? Let's read. Oh, look at these drawings. I wonder what she's planning. And today, we are sharing this book with special permission from Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. Thank you. Charlotte was a serious scientist. Protective glasses, a lab coat, and a magnifying glass were her essential scientific equipment, plus a clipboard for important notes. Charlotte solved problems by conducting experiments that followed the scientific method. And Charlotte had a problem. What do you think her problem is? Can you even see Charlotte? Where is she? Where is she? Oh, I see her. Looky there. She was squished. She was squished at the table. She was squished in the tub. And sometimes she was even squished on the toilet. Hey! Oh. It had become impossible to conduct her experiments. Her test tubes were taken, her beakers got broken, and her specimens were spoiled. Charlotte needed some space. Time to use the scientific method. Aha, you ready? Step number 1, ask a question. How can I get some space around here? Step number 2, form a hypothesis. Do you know what a hypothesis is? Well, let's see what hers is. Hypothesis. If I can get rid of my brothers and sisters, I will have room to be a real scientist. What is a hypothesis? Seems like kind of an educated guess. Step number 3, test the hypothesis. Experiment. She tried an experiment to make everyone disappear, but it didn't work. Oh, I still see them. Do you? She tried another experiment to make herself disappear. Do you see her in there? What did she do? But that didn't work either. Have you ever felt like she felt? What do you do? If she was going to get some space, she would have to go there. Look at what she did. She made her own rocket. I bet that's what the plans were for. Woohoo! Looky there. Where is she? Kind of looks like the moon to me. Step number 4, make and record observations. Charlotte was no longer squished to the table. She was no longer squished in the tub. And Charlotte could take as long as she wanted on the toilet. Space was splendid. Look at all her observations. Finally, step number 5, draw conclusions. She had all the room she needed to conduct very important experiments using her protective glasses, lab coat, and magnifying glass. Her test tubes were tidy, her beakers looked brilliant, and her specimens were sparkling. Her hypothesis was correct. She finally had room to be a scientist. The only problem was, what could the problem be? There was no one to talk to at mealtime, no one to blow bubbles with in the tub, and what was Charlotte supposed to do when she ran out of toilet paper? I think that's what we're all wondering. Space was lonely. Back to step number 2, form a new hypothesis. If I can have friends in space, then I won't be lonely and I can be a real scientist. Time for more experiments. Charlotte tried chocolate, but it was too tempting. The balloons kept floating away. Those don't seem like good friends. And robot bunnies were poor conversationalists. What do you think they would say? This one says, boop. They got ruined in the bathtub and tangled in the toilet paper. Charlotte missed her family. She even missed being squished. So she tried one last experiment. What do you think it is? Look! Where is she? And who do you see? how do they seem? And reached a new conclusion. Charlotte didn't need outer space. What did she need? She just needed her own space. Ah, looky there. The end. And if you want to review, looky here. Let's be in the lab with Charlotte, and it's got the 5 steps of the scientific method. What was number 1? Ask a question. And number 2 was form a hypothesis. Look at that. It's a best guess answer to a question. Number 3 is to test the hypothesis in experiment. Number 4, make and record observations. Number 5 is to form a conclusion. And what was the conclusion that Charlotte eventually came to? Do you think that would be your conclusion? Well, we're going to use the scientific method to do some experiments and some activities. Thank you for reading with me.